And our word for today on this Wednesday of the second week of Easter, our word for today is opened. Opened is our word for today, taken from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 5. The high priest rose up and all of his companions, that is, the party of the Sadducees, and filled with jealousy laid upon the apostles and put them in public jail. But during the night, the angel of the Lord opened the doors of the prison, led them out and said, "Go and take up your place in the temple area and tell the people everything about this life." When they heard this, they went to the temple area early in the morning and taught. What? They were in jail, brothers and sisters. This is not the first time. They've been beaten. They've been threatened. So now they're in jail for the night. And what do? An angel comes and visits them, opens the door. They go out and they are obedient. They go out early the next morning and begin to preach. Now, as they are out there, those who threw them into the jail went to get them released and said, "Bring them in so we could talk to them." They weren't there. But guess what? The doors were still locked. There was no indication that they had been in any way let out. There was no physical way for that to have happened. The guards were there. The doors were locked. But guess what? When God opens, no one shuts. Whatever he opens, no one shuts. And these men were convicted. They were going to do what the Spirit of God told them to do. They were going to do what the angel who had been sent to them told them to do, which was go out and preach the gospel. Because what? Because he opened the door to allow them to come out. And why? Because the Spirit of God lived within them so that they had no other choice but to do the thing that they were instructed to do because of their conviction and love for the Lord their God. That was their desire. And again, they were not going to stop it. We see later in the reading, the report, "We found the jail securely locked and the guards stationed outside the doors. But when we opened them, we found no one inside." Brothers and sisters, he who lives within us is stronger than he who is in the world. The world wants to imprison you. Satan wants to lock you down. Guess what? God has come that you might be free. Jesus died that you might be free. And when we are freed by the Son of God, when we are freed by Jesus, we are free indeed, not to be imprisoned again, not to choose to be imprisoned again, because it's the only way it can happen if we choose that. Our gospel acclamation today, also our gospel reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 3. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that everyone who believes in him might have eternal life. But it doesn't stop there, brothers and sisters. For God came that we might have eternal life, so that everyone who believes in him might not perish. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. I think sometimes we forget this, that God did not send Jesus into the world to send us to hell. We were already banned from heaven. Jesus came that the gates of heaven might be open to us, that we might be made truly free, that we might reconcile our relationship to the Father through the death of his Son, Jesus. And his desire, brothers and sisters, is for us, for our salvation, for the salvation of all made in his image and likeness. That's everyone, by the way. And he has come that we may no longer be imprisoned. But we need to make the decision that we are truly going to allow God to make us free through the death of his Son. We need to assent to that. We need to say yes to that. The invitation is there. All it requires is our willingness to say yes and then cooperate with the good work that God is doing in us. Opened, our word for today.